Welcome back to Show Me the Nuggets. I'm Eduardo Trinidad, producer of the show. Are you looking to scale your ad spend? Maybe even scale up to $10,000 a day? Are you looking to get 6 figures per month in spend and break records? Whatever that number is you have in your head, it's all about mindset. In this bite-sized episode, Joe and AdCo's founder Nehal Kazim dive into the mindset shifts that you need to make to get you those numbers and get there faster. Let's have a listen.
What would you say are the top kind of mindset shifts or things that you have to train on that are the most common things that you see all the time with your clients, right? When you say you do business coaching, what are the top kind of 3 or 4 things that you see all the time? That's like, yep, I know, in a month from now, I'm going to have this conversation. Then in another quarter from now, I'm going to have this conversation because I'm starting to go through those so selfishly. I want to ask for selfish reasons. Like what are maybe some of those that are going to come up for me?
Yeah, for sure. The first one, I think the biggest one by far is the ROAS target. Like that's a business strategy and directional goal issue. And we're grateful, man. Like a lot of our clients come in with look, we want to scale. We've been educated and failed in the past when we didn't set our ROAS goal, like when we set it too aggressively and it was too high in order to be successful. So we know what is good enough in order to operate and scale. So we're healthy and the lifetime value is there. So I think from a mindset standpoint, when people are not willing to decrease the ROAS goal because they're so used to being profitable or too profitable, it actually is a massive limiter of growth because they're sacrificing tomorrow for today. Whereas all of our successful clients are actually sacrificing a little bit of today for a lot of tomorrow. So that's probably the first one. Then the other mindset thing I've seen is that especially as the numbers get bigger, people don't look at metrics or they kind of disconnect from that. So we track anywhere between 35 to 40 metrics every single day. So they're automatic. So we look at totals of total number of clicks, lead purchases, total cash collected, cost per click, cost per add to cart, cost per whatever sale. And then we look at ratios. And so ratios of click to add to cart to initiate checkout, all those kind of things all the way through. Then we look at profitability, and that's part of totals, but profitability as well on a daily basis, what's going on Facebook, what's going on store-wide, gaps and delayed attribution, all of that. What we see is 40 metrics look like a lot, but there's core metrics. And so there's 3 to 5 core metrics. And what happens are sometimes they're really just 2. So you can have really high ROAS with low volume of customers because you can't pay your team, right? So, and I'm learning about this, about paired metrics. And, depending on what's important to you, there might be up to 3 to 5 metrics. And one of the challenges is, which metrics are your non-negotiables? Because if they're all 5, that's ideal, of course, and that's great. But realistically, especially when we're talking about breaking records month on month, it's very hard to hit every single metric. So that's, disconnecting from the overwhelm of data. We want clients to live in the KPI sheets, and most of them do. We open sheets and they're in there. And so that's what we want. I think so that's the second one. The third one I kind of mentioned right now is the actual mindset pursuit and expectation that we're going to outperform our last month, outperform our last quarter, outperform our last year. If that's not even the expectation or the purpose or desire, then it's not going to happen. It's very difficult. So we look at this as 2 things. Are you in scale mode or are you in ROAS protection mode? And depending on the season of the business, or there's other modes which are not positive. So in terms of rebuilding or pausing and redevelopment, that kind of thing. But are you aggressively looking to scale? That usually means less profit short term or not as profitable. And then are you trying to stack cash and do a inventory buy or do some sort of just cruising on that momentum in order to let recurring customers catch up or wait for that promotion and allow any kind of capital injection to do something next. So that really makes a big difference, because our mindset is we're a scaling agency. We want to keep setting bigger goals. And, for me, mentally has been what, I want to design the business to take companies from 6 figures a month to 7 figures a month. That's relatively recent, like our mindset shift on that. One day I set a goal of like, man, it would be amazing to spend $1 million a month. Like that would be amazing. And I didn't even, it's like that goal, I didn't even know how much I was spending that month. So how can you accomplish that if you don't even know what you're spending? So then we set up a system, all the clients, how much are we spending that specific day? How much are we doing month to date? What is our pacing in order to accomplish that month's goal? And then one person on our team posts that every single day, tagging the core people on our team and saying, this is the pacing. This is how much we spent. This is our pacing, if we're on track or not. And so then we can't BS ourselves. And so that went from, we didn't even know how much we were spending, to like, oh, wouldn't $1 million be cool? To then like, we actually hit the $1 million a month last year on my birthday, almost exactly. And then now we're at 1.7 million approximately per month. And we're managing like 8 core brands. And so that's like, the money's cool, all that stuff. Like I want challenges. Like, what does it look like? I was thinking about it today. What does it look like to build a 2 million a month, 3 million, 5 million a month company? Is like, is that what we want? And so it has to be enjoyable. It has to be a challenge. When I get bored, I think like that's, the entrepreneurial ADD stuff happens. And so I've been working on getting out of that and not freaking my team out. So thinking about more of that privately before sharing that with anyone on the team. I love it. So
I love it, man. What do you do? I'm curious when you get bored, when your entrepreneurial ADD takes over, what happens?
Man, it's not good. It's not good. So this year has been very different for me. So with COVID, I did something that I haven't really done, or I haven't committed to in the past, or I gave the illusion of it that I was doing it, which is like actually letting go. And so there's like levels to letting go, or like surrendering to that, to letting other people do their thing. And I'm still working. It's constant, And the biggest thing I did was my challenge in the past was they were buying Nehal, like they were buying for me to come and perform, and that's not sustainable. And it's just not. It's not a business, right? It's like basically I have to perform, and so slowly I let go of that control. And now, because I allowed people to perform, they're outperforming what they were doing before. Of course, it's almost cliche at this point, but that's usually what happens. And people are making more money. So we have a salary plus bonus structures where people have the ability to make like 100% to 150% of their base salary. And so then all of them, everyone on the team, the core people, have the same metric. So when someone does anything good for the other person, then they're like, oh, like you helped me hit that. So now everyone's helping each other make more money, right? Then I don't have to manage that. And then they can manage it themselves because they have tiers. It's like, I want to hit the next tier. And they get antsy on like, why last month I made more. What's wrong with this month? Or like, what's going on? So that was like the biggest thing. This year has been incredible for me from a personal standpoint because I've had those time and space to work on myself and like work on my relationships that are important to me. And that actually is translating a lot to business success. I moved from a pretty nice home to a home that's 3 times bigger. And like there's all these like small upgrades mentally that I'm doing for the purpose of like creating a bigger vision. So entrepreneurial ADD, I've been overall really good about saying no to most things. I was actually really excited about in the beginning of COVID because I was like, all right, I'm going to go into this buying business stuff. And all businesses were up. And then I was like, okay, stock market is up. So not much turnaround stuff that I can do that I thought I was expecting. And I bought a course and I was like, the best decision I made is like, I am not going to do anything. And so that was the best decision. And I saved so much time and money in that process. So Usually, though, with a lot of this stuff, I think we create a lot of internal anxiety and pain about like all the stuff we could be doing and fear of missing out and all of that. I've done a really good job this year of not doing that. And so I decided I'm going to stay in my lane. And so I'm going to go all in on advertising. So we launched the DFY Creatives. Very painful 3 months of just building all of that stuff out and all the systems and processes breaking. And then now we have a system that runs basically without me. And we're launching like 300, 400 creatives a month, something like that, with 3 designers. And so we're building on more designers and building out the front end process. We started with 0 templates. We have 160 templates now. So it's like at least that investment actually multiplied what our core operating is, business is, as well as acquire new customers and increase the value of all that. So this year I've done phenomenal with it, but yeah, usually it's not pretty.
That's awesome. I love how you've attacked a couple of key areas in the business. They became new opportunities for you that you got excited about, and that obviously got buy-in from you, that kept you interested in the business. Because you're right. I mean, those distractions can cause lots of stress, unneeded, where you feel like you should be doing all these different things when really most of them don't even need to be done from the onset and could just be trashed, and you'd be much happier. So well done.
I was about to like launch stuff, like do affiliate campaigns in specific markets that I don't know anything about. And I'm like, man, the actual way to do that, it would take so much time to make it remotely valuable. So thank God I didn't do that.
Thanks for tuning in and showing me the nuggets. If you've been enjoying the podcast and find our content helpful, please visit our Apple Podcast page, hit the subscribe button, and leave us a review. Joe and the whole team have been working hard to bring more value to the show. Your feedback will go a long way in helping us make the show better and reach a wider audience.